Did you block it on purpose?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I did it on purpose.
He's gonna put his PowerPoint up really quick.
Alright, I used to stand in my driveway, and I would sit there with my basketball, and I'd spin it around in my hands, and I'd look down my yard, and have my basketball go, and I'd sit there, and I'd think. And then I'd look up, and I'd see all the fans cheering for me. My parents are in the stands. I'd hear them cheering down for me, and I'd start to dribble. And I look up at the clock. There's only a few seconds left, and we're down right now. The season's on the line, and it's up to me. I've got the ball. So I cut down, I cross over, I drive down the lane, and I lift my floater in the air, and it hangs there for a while. The buzzer goes off, it goes in, and I just won us the game. Now, how many of you honestly can say that you've never done that before? Because I know as a kid, I did that every single day. And I had the NBA championship on my mind every day because I was going to win it every single day when I got home from school. So today, I'm talking about the NBA Lockout, how it affects the league, the fans, and the community. Now, who's your favorite team in the NBA? Go ahead and shout them out.
Boston Celtics?
Yeah? Alright. Okay.
Lakers.
Well, I'm not going to, go into my favorite team because I don't want to be biased or anything like that. So you all can go ahead and say whatever you want about anything. And we won't discuss how I don't know how that goes. Now, what's this all about? Some people may ask, what exactly is the lockout all about? What happened was the players and the owners get together and they decide how they're going to split up the money. Right now it's up to about $4 billion, and they have a collective bargaining agreement. Well, it ended in 2011, and it didn't look like there was anything in sight, so the owners locked out the players. Now what happens in a lockout is that the teams aren't allowed to trade, sign, or even come in contact with any of the players. And the players can't go work out on facilities, they can't use any trainers or any staff in the NBA. So they're locked out of the gyms. Now, we're going to look at how the lockout affects the league, of course, its players, its coaches, but more than just that, if you think about it, the NBA employs a lot of people. And then also we're going to talk about the fans. And we're going to talk about, finally, local communities affected by the NBA, mostly in particular Orlando. So first, let's look at the obvious of that, how the NBA lockout is going to affect the NBA. Now, the lockout will just affect more people than just players and owners. There are a lot of people who have jobs relying on the NBA. You can talk about coaches and dance team members and doctors and trainers and that hot dog guy who walks up and down the aisles. And you got to think that without a season, they're going to be out of a job. And already an estimated 400 jobs have been cut by a front office in the NBA. Rookies who don't have a guaranteed contract because they haven't played yet have no money to fall back on. Enes Kanter, for example, went to the University of Kentucky and was told by the NCAA that he couldn't play. So he couldn't play basketball, but everyone said, well, it's fine, you're still going to go number one in the NBA draft. He went number one in the NBA draft, finally comes to America to play basketball, and gets locked out and can't play in the NBA. Also, how it affects the league is a poor reflection on the management and the greed and the owners. If you look at it earlier, according to Mitch Lawrence from the New York Daily News, in the 1999 lockout, it took 2 seasons financially to recover from all the financial backers who left and lost thousands of NBA fans. All the work that they've made since 1999 is now gone because of that. Also, there's about 6 teams, if you really think about it. It's kind of funny who looks like they're getting the blame. The players are getting the blame for most of it, but really, if you look into it, it's the owners, because there's about 6 teams every year that are on top of the NBA, and a lot of owners don't see the need in it. They don't want to go ahead and do it. ESPN.com's Dan Levitard says more owners have grown bored with the NBA and don't care about the season enough to watch their team lose to work out a deal. The players want to play, but the owners don't want to pay. Now we're going to look at how the lockout affects the fans, the most important people who I believe are not getting the news media attention in this. Fans are the ones who pay the checks. Fans are the ones who go to the game. They cheer, they support. They are the ones who pay to get into the game. They're the only ones who don't pay or who don't get paid for this. And all we want to do is watch basketball. But there is something that a lockout could mean as no season, and that can lead to lack of ad space sold. Valentino Lucio, the San Antonio Express News, says if a season is lost, the loss of premium ad space and programming could affect the cost in networks. And because of networks, they could start charging cable and satellite providers more for that. And if they start charging satellite and cable providers more, then people who own that satellite and cable provider in their house will have to pay more for that. Fans just want to watch the game. Now we're going to look at what could happen to Orlando if there's no NBA season. That's right. Maybe not that drastic. But let's look at how it affects our local community in Orlando. Orlando has a lot to lose if this doesn't go through, because they have a sports franchise, but it's the only sports franchise they have to support it. A lot of NBA teams have other sport franchises in their city to where it's not going to be that big of a deal if we miss a season. But Orlando relies on the Magic a lot. If there's no games, that means that there's no other teams, no other fans and stuff coming in and checking into our hotels. There's no people going to downtown restaurants and going to that and checking out with them and buying things downtown and hotel rooms. And that has a lot of people worried, because you pay a lot of money to open up a downtown restaurant, and you have a lot of people hired on for the NBA season, and you're going to have to cut jobs. Also, Orlando was selected for the 2012 All-Star Game, and according to, I can't read his name because I wrote it bad. There we go. Okay, according to Tim Withers of the Telegraph-Herald in Iowa, the NBA All-Star Game on regular is projected to bring $100 million to a city. That's not to mention all the free publicity you get from having celebrities and the NBA's best in your city, staying at your hotels, eating at your restaurants, doing what is around here. I mean, if you think about Orlando, you got Disney, you got Universal, things like that, that you could have celebrities and NBA professionals coming here and doing and just playing it for a weekend in your city. And the whole athletic world looks down on you at that time. And if they don't have it, then we're going to lose a lot of money. So Orlando needs a season. So in conclusions, players want to play, fans want to watch, and Orlando needs a season. Everybody has a lot to lose from this, and it could be really bad. So, the time's running out. There's a few seconds left on the clock. And NBA, the ball is in your court.
Yeah, right.